Okay, well, I guess I've gotten my food and taken care of my stuff, so I figure let's go ahead and get all this back going again. Alrighty, so where we left off, of course, we're getting to go into Zeal Palace for the first time, and it's really with Zeal where things start to go sideways. And you can tell it initially just from the music, because you get this freaky music, or very ominous sort of music, that very much sets the mood for everything going on, or everything that will be going on. Now this, of course, we have visitors. Do you like plants? Yes. And the queen ordered her to burn the sapling. This is actually a key to opening up, I think, Fiona's side quest a little bit later. So, in order to get the side quest, you have to tell her to secretly plant it. And that, in essence, is going to open that up, I believe. Alright, now, of course, we have the new here. We've got this guy. Could you scratch my back? Absolutely. And in doing so, you discover the new scratch point, which will be useful down in Kajar. Yeah, disobey the queen with the power of love. Oh yes. And then talking about the queen not giving us the time of day. How dare you? Alright, now, I think this one is just a normal, just normal bedroom. It's this one to the right that contains the introduction of Shala, probably the character about whom Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross fans have speculated the most, really ever since, I guess, the first game, and then certainly whenever Chrono Cross came out and, well, did what they did with Shala. It sparked some controversy since then. And this ultimately sets up the issues, or to some degree sets up what's to come, of course. Well, I think one of the things that the DS version didn't the DS version link Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross together? Obviously with cutscenes. I think the PlayStation versions did too. But I know they added the Time Devourer, I believe, that helped to link the two games together. Unfortunately, this is really the struggle here. And this is, in many ways, where I think the names come into play, because Janus was one of the Roman gods. I don't remember what he was Roman god of, sadly, but Janus is one of the Roman gods, and Magus is the Persian word for magician, or for mage, healer, wizard, what have you, which, as it turns out, of course, is very much fitting. Now, Shala, I'm not really sure in regards to if her name is symbolic of anything. I don't believe it is. Although Zeal's, you don't really have to think too hard to figure out the symbolism of Queen Zeal, especially given that she is so zealous to, whoops, that's not the right way, Eric, to discover the secrets of magic at all cost. Ha! And then we've got Massa and Mune making a bit of a cameo here. Yep, Big Sister Doreen. That's because she likes dreams. I like the wind better. And I think we actually have to go... Yeah, we have to go around the other side to go past them. For some reason, I thought they disappeared there. I don't know why. Alright, now, let's see. I think if I go in here right now, all it's really going to do is just people talk about the Mammon Machine, which we'll see in a moment. So I will go ahead and go into the Queen's Hall, where we can see the scene of Shala using the pendant. And then, holy cow, she opened the door, and it looks an awful lot like, well, the one that we have. Well, no kidding, this door has a strong defense mechanism. And there is our hint that we have to power up the pendant to do anything. I think this is where the final extra ending comes in, because if you, after the destruction of the Chrono layer and before you see that scene with the pendant, you can get one ending. Excuse me. After the scene with the pendant, you get another one. So it's very precise and very little to it, really, in regards to the timing of it. Excuse me. Alright, so then we toss our bracelet up into the Mammon Machine, and suddenly it works. Although, as it turns out, maybe not the best idea in the world at that moment. Yeah, I think it's that one, because you have so little time to actually get it, and if you plow straight through, you could miss it in 30 minutes, or however long it took for us to do that. The other ones don't have nearly as small of a time gap. Alright, so, hip hip hooray. Oh, I remember hating this battle. Who are you? There's the Prophet. Hello, Prophet with suspiciously familiar blue hair. And we're not evildoers. We're going to save the day, dang it. So, he 6 Golem on us. Yeah. Fortunately, though, I don't remember... Yeah, I know, you don't have to win it. I'm going to try to anyway, dang it. I just don't like the cheatsy aspect of the Iron Ball. That and the 1 HP attacks are... Ugh. Those are the real pains in the butt. Whoops, that was it. Oh gosh. Yeah, definitely New Game Plus. I mean, otherwise that wouldn't have happened. Robo would have been hurt a lot more. And, well, we win. Yay! And we get to see Dalton all ticked off. I love that angry face of his. And he literally turns red. Although, I have to say, I think I prefer the Investigator in A Legend of Mana with the fireworks popping out of his head. I think that may be my favorite angry pose for now. Although Dalton's is pretty good, too. By the time we're through with you, you'll be begging us to end it. Yeah, whatever. And then, well, Shala and Janice show back up. Yay! Shala's gonna rescue us. Whee! I think it's useless. Well, what is really crazy about this is if you take the comments and such about Janice and Shala at their heart, Shala is equally as powerful as Queen Zeal, and Janice is even more so, or at least has the potential to be even more so, which I always found to be curious / pretty intriguing. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to rescue the Guru because the Prophet shows up. You'll just have to disappear. And then the first, well, I guess the second hint really to the Prophet's identity is the fact that the cat, who only really is friendly with Janice, actually meows at the Prophet. So, hint, hint. And unfortunately, we get tossed back into the teleporter. Doggone it. And then this Prophet proves he is really a very hard-boiled character. And he's certainly willing to sacrifice lives. Of course, we end up finding out his rationale behind it later. Pretty fair bit later, actually. It really is too bad what ends up happening, or what we think happens, at least in regards to Chrono Trigger's story, to Shala, because she really is, in a lot of ways, one of the best characters just as far as character goes in the game. And then Robo notes, hey, guess what? That crest that we haven't actually technically examined yet here at the Keeper's Dome in 2300 AD plays the weird music. Alrighty, so, well, our next destination then is back to the past. Alright, I think the Sweetwater is still available to heal. I know toward the end of the game it goes away, but I believe it's still here now, so let me check. I think it's this one. Would you land? Chrono, land! Or not, okay. No, that's a trade hut, whoops. Oh well, it's not going to be that big of a deal because I'll heal again at the end of time. But I think the Sweetwater is still here if you want to heal with that. Yeah, Balthazar. Well, I think nobody really planned that out. That was part of the problem. And wow, okay, the other enemies were gone. Sweet, so I could just run right past them. I think do they ever specifically name the scientists who screwed up the time stream in CC? I think it was just a group of nameless scientists. Alright, so we've got to go back to... well, the future is where they want us to go. Alright, no. Let's see. I've got to go back to Protodome, I think. Which unfortunately means another trip through the freaking ruins. But, oh well. Not that big a deal. Oh, thanks for joining me, Tiger. I am actually just about to get the epic. I just got booted out of Zeal Palace, so we're pretty fair way through the game. We're not obviously into the real deep meat of it yet, but we're getting there, certainly. Oh, I kind of forgot I could do that, actually. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yes, let's drive and hope I don't lose. But thank you for joining me. Glad you could make it in. I have been... well, I mean, you can sort of see from the title what I'm doing, but I'm streaming, well, ideally, I'm streaming the whole game. At least that's the idea of it, and I'm not doing as well in this version of the vehicle race as I did last time, so yay me, I guess. At least not as well with the scores, anyway. Alright, I don't particularly like using Turbo Boost just because it can really work against you if you use it at the wrong time. Well, actually, I think I did do better score-wise. Oh well. Yep. We'll ride the wind, baby. That's always a good line. I mean, you see it a couple of times in the game, but it's always good. Yeah, you can change the camera. I don't really race in that mode very much, but yeah, that definitely can help if you're having issues, especially as far as trying to win the race and such is concerned. Alright, so down to the Keeper's Dome where we get some more, well, some of the more sad music in the game. Please don't disturb my slumber, but hey, let's talk to the door. Alright, now we get the required story bits. And he officially reveals his identity as the Guru of Reason, although we wouldn't have had any reason to think that before we run across this part of the game. And it basically tells us the story, by and large, that we already know, actually, is that lava showed up millions of years ago, which we've seen, and began burrowing into the earth. Excuse me. No, I'm playing the original SNES version with Woolsey's translation issues and all, which to some degree is in a way a bit more fun, actually. And oh, I didn't know there was either. Huh. I'll have to look into that just in spare time, of course. It's impossible to keep sane. Yep, so safeguard your data and your ultimate creation in basically the back room. And no pressure, but your true heroes in the world is in your hands. Now, when I first played this, I had trouble figuring out exactly what to do as far as trying to make this work, but you just go to the back. The Wings of Time. Wait, how would you have heard of this? And then you go back over here and watch the poor New being tasked with pushing the seats into place. Yep, I am Balthazar. I loaded my memory onto this. Although, that's pretty impressive technology. Well, obviously the Wings of Time is, too. Alright, so I'll just basically move through. We don't really need to see this too much. Why don't you sleep? Oops, why don't you name my time machine? Oh, well, thank you. I am from the South, so you probably hear a little bit of the accent in my voice. I try not to have too much of one because I'm certainly not going to sit here and go, hey, y'all, I'm from Alabama. Because I'm not that person, but I do have a little bit of the Southern in me. Alright, well, one thing, I actually want to keep this, naming to myself. Because when I played through the LP the first time, I named this after my free company in Final Fantasy XIV, which unfortunately no longer exists. But in honor of that, I want to go ahead and name my time ship the Crow, which is what I had named it when I first played through. So, I've let you guys name all the characters, but I'm going to keep this one to myself if y'all don't mind. The Silver? Huh. Well, it's too bad that there aren't 6 characters, otherwise it would fit. The second it looked like it said crotch. No, I think that's okay. We'll keep it that way. Or we'll keep it the way it is. Okay, I am actually I'm going to go back to 600. Although it actually, I don't think really wants us to go there yet. It wants us to go to 12,000. But I want to go back to 600 because I want to go ahead and open up, or not open up, but I want to go ahead and queue the Mystic Treasure Chests in that era. Oh, I love Robo's freaking out and Ayla's having a good old time. As if the sum total of all human spiritual power that has ever existed were somehow being amplified. And Ayla's just... Ayla's just having a ball. Yep. Oh, yes. Blah, 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 blah. Although I can't do the spinny screen. I don't think I'm that good at it. Well, I know I'm not that good at it. What am I talking about? The first one, of course, is right here, and we don't even need to really do anything with it. But then the others are the ones that I'm going to go ahead and know in 600, and then do in the year 1000 and actually get the items first. I do find it interesting. I've never actually done it before, but you can actually do the side quests, or you can actually do the first side quest, which is one of the tougher ones in my mind right now. You notice, of course, the whirlpool up there. That is, I guess that actually takes effect once you go into the Zeal Palace and you tell the lady to plant the sapling. At least it's my guess, anyway. Alright, I think there is... The only other one that we can get to right now is the one in the inn. I'm not going to go through Guardia Castle and do that other one just yet. Alright, now, I mean, you guys who are watching probably already know this, but for maybe anybody who doesn't, main reason I did that is because if you do that, if you queue the chests in the past and say no, it will actually initiate a more powerful item in the present. Then you can go back to the past at your leisure and take the entry-level items, basically, at that point. So let's go ahead and hop over to 1000 and grab these treasures here. And then I think that's all... Well, I could go... I don't remember where the epic actually dumps you in the future, so I'm not going to worry about the sealed chest or the sealed doors in the future yet. Well, yeah, there's 2 of them. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about those just yet, but I am going to go ahead and pick these up. Whoops, they're upstairs now. Sorry, kind of forgot. Alright, so we get black mail, and I think now we get blue mail? No, white mail. Okay. Well, makes sense, I guess. Alright, so now just to jog up to the inn, and I think it's probably faster to jog up to the inn than it is to take the ferry from Pore, which I know I can do that, but I want to go the faster way. Of course, if I get hung up on Zenon Bridge, then it's not going to be faster at all. Now, I find it curious with that one, and this is just a little peculiarity, that they happened to... that the opening actually happened a little bit late in that treasure chest at True Sin. I'm not quite sure why, but I don't know, just a little peculiarity I noted. Okay, I think that'll do it for now, because I'll get the treasure chest in 600 at a little bit of a later date. I want to go ahead and move forward. Although, granted, obviously this didn't take very long, but I do want to go ahead and take on Mount Woe. Now, the area that we're coming to now is an area that we couldn't have accessed before this point. Because if you try to go into the Terra Cave before, the ladder is going to be down, or not going to be down, so you can't get up here. But now, of course, the story wants us to do it, so we shall. Alright, I don't remember if there's much to do in here. I think it's just random people primarily. But yeah, this is the real tragedy of 12,000 BC, the forced separation of the Earthbound from the Enlightened, as the magic users called themselves. And you look a lot like Doan. And I love how when he talks about Janus being stronger, he implies, or he flat out says, actually not implies, that Janus is scheming against the crown. Those who are cursed to play Earthbound for all eternity. I guess it depends on the Earthbound that you're playing. Alright, I think, let's see. Wait a minute. Oh, right. We just go through here now. That's right. The big conversation happens later. For some reason, I thought it happened now. Alright, so I'll just go ahead and cruise through here, I think. This is the part in a New Game Plus playthrough, I believe, that the game begins to get a little difficult. It's not too... I mean, it's certainly not too bad right now. But especially once we get into the Ocean Palace, then it'll really begin to ramp up, at least to some degree. Of course, obviously, the area where the playthrough really begins to get, at least, really difficult, or in many ways difficult, is when you get into the Black Omen. Ah, crud. Crisis Arm's gonna be wasted. Oh well. I think of the Earthbound games... Yeah, that's true. I don't know, I'm just going on memories, I guess. Of the Earthbound games, the only one I've actually played is the first one. And, oh god, I have completely the wrong party for this. Whoa. Well, not that it's undoable, but it's just going to take a lot more for me to actually pull this off than it normally would. I brought in entirely the wrong party. Although, I wonder, does area... I can't do area bomb. That's interesting. Alright, well, I'm going to tag team one of them and then take out the other one afterward. And dang, Robo, holy crap. Never mind. Uzi punch for the win, I guess. I love the counterattack where he rides the animal to kill them. It's great. And Chrono should hopefully finish this one off. Yep. Alright, now time to go for you, you little bombast. Okay, ooh. Okay, this is where I'm probably going to need to go more magical. And where I'm in a little bit of trouble. Let's see, what can triple kick do? Not much. He's going to re-heal it. Yep, okay. Alright, let's see. Let's go for Volt Bite, see how well that does. And then, I'm guessing the best one for Robo is going to be Shock. Or, I guess I could, after I get these attacks off, I could do Twister. Oh, there we go. And 2 levels up, wow. And now to Mount Woe, where we find these little things. You don't have to fight them, but if you do, and you are able to hit them, because they have incredibly high evasion, you could stand to gain a lot of tech points. And if you're getting toward, if you're in an original playthrough, that is one of the best ways to basically grind tech points. Because if you go off screen, there is one of them that will... Now, why didn't you immediately die, I wonder? There is one of them that will immediately respawn when you come back on. And you can just keep milking that for tech points if you like. It's definitely possible, and you don't have to grind. With, I think they give, what, 100 tech points a pop? Or tech points a pop, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. By fighting all of them. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Alright, blast you. I was hoping I'd be able to avoid you, but oh well. That's okay. Terra can just basically crit you to death, and then Chrono can crit you to death, and it's game over. Well, for you guys, anyway. Text points, yeah. Oh god, I'm not even sure about 2100. It'd probably be a game just now. Yes, kids, play for your weekly supply of text points. And welcome to the joys of what we call an MMO. Where you have to grind forever to get stuff. Yeah, whatever. Quit, just, you know. You can toss rocks at me as much as you like. It's not going to do you any good. Alright, now, Twister! Let's see how much damage that can really do. Although it looks like, well, at this rate, we might not get the chance to see it. Well, that did a pretty good amount of damage, which I guess is the point. Alright, see if I can play Sneaky Sneak. Ah, darn it. Oh well. That was worth a shot anyway. Yeah, oh yes, definitely. I could see how that'd be the case. Okay, that's fine. Keep hitting Chrono. See if I care. And it's not like you're really going to be able to do anything to him. Alrighty, let's see. I think we've got to sneak around. Darn it. Quit hitting the pixels, people. Speaking of pixels, is that movie any good? I mean, any good? I've heard so much bad stuff about it. I don't know, just a curiosity, I guess. Because actually, since I've got a few days off from work and teaching and everything, I decided I was going to go and spend some time and just go see some movies, which was fun. I went to see Mission Impossible yesterday. I liked it. It's Sandler, yeah. Well, I mean, Sandler was good back in the 90s, but it's just really, I don't know what he's been doing lately. But I went to see Mission Impossible yesterday. It was pretty good. It wasn't quite the same quality as, say, I think is it Mission Impossible, is it 3? With, Philip Seymour Hoffman? Whichever one Philip Seymour Hoffman's in. I don't remember if it's 2 or 3. That one is really, I think, the best one in my mind. So it's not as good as that one, but it's still pretty good. Let's see, do I want the... Nah, I don't particularly care about the treasure there. Okay. Well, it's... Yeah, I mean, it's obviously framed around... It's framed around the 70s TV show with Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt. And it's interesting because he's basically... Oh, crap. Oh, that's right. I've got his HP down at 1. I need to fix that with him, at least. it's been... Not what I meant to do. It's been helmed by him for so many years that you wouldn't really think it to be... You wouldn't really think he'd still be in it, but he not only is he still in it, he still does a pretty good job in regards to all of the action-y scenes and what have you. So, I don't know. To me, I would say... And then, surprise, the Guru of Life is... Well, still kidnapped. Alright, so, the two-handed attacks. If you're playing through this the first time, really what you should be driving toward is... trying to take those hands out as quickly as possible. Because if you don't, then you are at a significant disadvantage, because he will keep doing those two-hand attacks at you, and especially for a first playthrough, they can really wreck you if you're not careful. But if you take the hands out, then you are pretty much in good shape. Alright. Let me... Not that it's really going to matter that much, but I'm going to cure myself just so I can get Robo's physical strength back up. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and do Confuse with you. Yeah, I had a hard time with him too, which is why I mentioned, you know, commencing arms. No, don't bring the arms back. Alright, now Uzi Punch I think is going to really wallop him. Oh, there we go. Never mind. Alright, so, well, that ended up being easy enough, at least for my big characters. And then we have the Ice Flow back again. And then we discover, to everybody's surprise, the Guru of Life is Old Man Melchior. We've yet to see the strength of the Crisis Arm. Well, we kind of have. Although, I guess with the Crisis Arm, is that what's dealing the massive damage for the Uzi Punch? I don't know that that has to do with the tech attacks. I know it has to do with the physical attack. Huh. So yeah, Zeal's spirit is pretty much gone. And we've got to hightail it off the mountain. Run away! Run away! And then we get to see the wind stop, the chains shatter, and this big giant mountain comes flying down from the sky and somehow doesn't cause a tidal wave.